Group game experience design project, my group decided to create a card game called Mansion Mayhem. This game is inspired by a card game called Exploding Kittens, a survival card game in which players have to draw cards from the piles and try to survive the bomb card until only one last player left. Inspired by Exploding Kittens, we changed the theme and developed the game into Mansion Mayhem with two gameplay versions. The first one is a classic version with drawing cards from the piles, just like Exploding Kittens, and the second one is by spreading all the cards and taking them one by one. My role in developing Mansion Mayhem in our group is by doing the background research, version 1 concept, and the playtesting. I developed the game concept with my groupmate Lorraine, and we changed the theme of the game into an exploration instead of haunted mansion. Inspired by Exploding Kittens, the first gameplay of the Mansion Mayhem is quite similar. Players had to draw cards from the pile. In Exploding Kittens gameplay, I found that it's too easy to lose, so I decided to create live cards so the players have more chance to play longer. The main point that I found fun in the Exploding Kitten card game is the fact that we can attack other players by putting the bomb card inside back in the pile. Inspired by this, I made some cards with this attack function in the Mansion Mayhem. Instead of having all the cards piled up together, I decided to have the mansion card and attack card separately, so the players not just have to survive attacks from the mansion, but also from other players. The main objective of this game is to escape the mansion by getting the key. In the first prototype, we had 3 keys, and whoever found the key first will win the game. After finishing the first version concept, we created the card prototype and did playtesting with our peers. There was a lot of constructive feedbacks, and based on that, we improved the game by reducing the useless cards, reducing the key card into one, creating steal cards which enable players to steal the key, and changing the rules so that the key can only be used after all the mentioned cards are open. After the improvement, my groupmate Natalie created another version of the game in which all the cards are spread out instead of being on piles, and players can choose the card they want to pick instead of just taking from the top of the pile. After we finished the development of this version, I did a playtesting 2 times to 2 different groups. The feedback is more positive than the first one, and we decided to keep both versions since the second one requires more space for the cards to be spread out. From this project, I have learned some key concepts. The first key concept that I learned from this project was the importance of player engagement. I want our game to be tense, funny, and exciting at the same time, so I focus on creating mechanics that will help players engage, like they have to strategize the attack cards into defeating other players and keep themselves alive and steal the key cards. Another essential lesson from our lectures was the importance of playtesting and feedbacks. We learned that feedbacks help us identify areas for improvement and make necessary changes. So after playtesting our initial prototype, I carefully listened to my peers' suggestions and took them into consideration. We made adjustments to the game mechanics, card balance, and win conditions based on these feedbacks. And the last one is the significance of theme and plot in game design is also very important. Inspired by the concept of a haunted mansion, I tried to build the narrative and plots into the game so everything will make sense. All the attacks and mention cards are based on the plot. So this narrative helped a lot in creating a more immersive and engaging experience for our players. That's all from me. Thank you.